ask something is Ardaas for us. And also some of those Sikhs, they translate each of the letters. For example, A is for Antarjami. Oh, I'm going to have to use my laptop because the thing is logging up. What's called the fonts. Try it out. So A for Antarjami. Antarjami means inner knower. God Vaheguru is inner knower. R is Rakya. Rakya Karnwala, or the protector. And then you've got D, Datar, giver. And then S is Sahar, or support. So some people translate it in that way. And it's really important, even Guru Gobind Singh Ji's hukams, it says, Karaj de Arambhavich, obstacle or anything you're going to do in life, you should do an Ardaas before that. And, something's happening. Honestly, if you need to ask a question, just ask it there and then, or we can do some questions at the end as well. Okay. Got this thing in. Okay. Okay, that's better. Yeah. So Antarjami, Rakya, Datar, and Sahara. And Ardaas, for us as a Sikh, it takes part in all of our life, literally from even before we're born. Gurbani says, "Hey, Janam." Many life forms have passed where we've not reached this world, and all the way when we were in the mother's womb, all the way up at Ardaas, the sake of Paramatma Vaheguru, get us out of this mother's womb, maybe be alive and given the opportunity to join one with Vaheguru. So even before Janam, we were doing Ardaas, constantly doing Ardaas. Then when we're born, what happens? We go to the Gurudwara side and we get an akkar, we get a letter from Guru Granth Sahib Ji in the form of a hukamnama. All the Ardaas to bina honi sakde. You need to do Ardaas first to get that. So we're named after having an Ardaas done. So we can't be named if we don't have Ardaas. We start our Vidya or like Gurbani, Samthya or reading or education. That happens via Ardaas. Those that have taken Amrit are blessed with Amrit. And have become baptized, then we know that only happens if you have Ardaas done. Get married without doing Ardaas. The Ardaas process, you can do your lava, you can do all that, but the actual Anandakaraj doesn't complete till the Granthi Singh's done the Ardaas. At that point, you are married. And even death, even Maut to Badin, once we die, physically we're gone. Still, we drive by the Gurdwara, our body will go by the Gurdwara, and we'll take Granthi Singh the Ardaas karni. So literally before we were born, up to after our death, Ardaas plays a really important part.
Jasdeep, can I ask one question? See, during the Namkaraj, sometimes there's usually two Ardaas.
Yeah.
What they do?
One to ask for permission to do the ceremony,
Anji.
and the second one is for the completion of it.
Yeah. Is it one that only the parents stand up for?
Yeah.
Is that the first one?
Yeah, that's the first one. So, there's actually, you can say that. So, it's a different topic, but the reason why they do that, why only the parents stand up, is, see the Sangat are witnesses for the marriage. Even like in a Western marriage, you need witnesses. For us, we don't need any single witness person. For us, the Sangat is the witness. You get married for the Sangat. And the Sangat need to know who's responsible for this Anandakaraj. And who is it normally? It's normally the parents that are involved. That's what it used to be. So the people that stand up are obviously who's getting married, and then the parents as well, so that the Sangat can see that these guys are responsible for the after. So that's why they do that. And this is the quick Maryada, the quick way to do Ardaas. We read this in Ardaas every day. Thand payo, khade hoke, jor kar, hands claps. Bachan kaha sir nihai, with love on the tongue and your head in Nimrata, humbleness, you do Ardaas. So, yeah, that's the Maryada. So, if someone asks how to do Ardaas, it's written in our Gurbani. So, we'll go through this really quick. So, God is one, Vaheguruji is one, there's no one else on the same level as them. Omkar means their light is in every single one of us. Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So Siri means like Shiromani, like the crown jewel. Vaheguru, this crown jewel, Vaheguru, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. Their fateh, their victory always belongs to Vaheguru. Or Ji can mean the people. So Vaheguru's Jis, the beings that belong to Vaheguru, the beloved, those that are beloved to Vaheguru, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. They always get a fateh, always get victory. And then we say Siri Bhagavati Ji Sahai. Sahai means to take the support of. So we're taking the Sahai, the support of Bhagavati. Now Bhagavati literally translates to Kirpan, city side. So the first thing we're asking for, we're saying is we take the support of the city side. We're a Shastra Tali, Tom, and so we're taking the support of God and weapons. So and then it says Var Sri Bhagavati Ji Ki. This is the title of the Ardaas. So see, the Ardaas, some of you may know, the first part is from Gurbani, right? Do you know which Gurbani it's from? Anyone? Any? Sorry? Yeah, it's from Dasan Bani, yeah, Guru Gobind Singh Bani. Yeah, Chandi Diva is the name of the Bani, right? So the first part of Ardaas is Gurbani. We do not have the authority to change even a letter of it, because it's written by the Gurus. The rest of the Ardaas, which we'll see, is actually not Gurbani. The rest of the Ardaas is made by the Sikh Qawm over the time, over Maharaja Ranjit Singh's times, when the Singhs were in the jungles, even up to modern history, the Ardaas has changed constantly. And now we're at a point where it's a standard Ardaas that we all can read. That's what that says, that's the title of that Bani, Varasiri Bhagavati Ji Ki. And then it says Bad Sai Dasami. So obviously the 10, Dasami refers to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The Guru Gobind Singh Ji wrote the first part of the Bani. Pat Sahi, Pat means the Takht, like the throne, and the Shahi means the king of the throne, right? So the king of the throne, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they're writing this first part. And they say Pratham, first of all, Bhagavati Simarke. Again, they say we remember Paramatma. There's two forms of God, we say Nirgun and Sargun. Some of you may have heard that before. Nirgun is like, you cannot describe that God. You know, we say God, sometimes we point to the sky and we say God. That God that we cannot describe, that's Nirgun. And then we have Sargun, which is the actual physical form of God, which we believe came in the form of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, so first of all, we remember the Nirgun form. Pratham Bhagavati Simarka, we're remembering that one Vaheguru that cannot be described. And then we say Guru Nanak Laite. Okay, so Guru Nanak Laite. What does Te mean? Yeah. Teona means to remember. Okay, so first thing we do in the Ardaas now, in this part of this Ardaas, we're saying we remember Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Now, normally when we do Ardaas, the Granthi Singhs doing the Ardaas, we're all thinking, okay, it's nearly time for London. They're doing the Ardaas, that means the program's finishing, yeah? And, we're going to get Prashad. Now, the next thing, what comes after the Ardaas? Prashad, yeah? We all love Prashad. But, what we don't realise is actually is going through the whole of Sikh history. We're remembering all our gurus, everything, and all our minds are in the Langar, right? So we're actually to remember Guru Nanak Dev Ji. When it comes up, when the Granthi Singh says Guru Nanak Dev Ji, we have to concentrate and focus just for that brief second on Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Why? Because listening to Guru Nanak Dev Ji will listen to our Ardaas even if we falter, even if we make sick that we can be, or whatever, Guru Nanak Dev Ji will listen to our Ardaas. And they guarantee us that. They guarantee us that through the Gurbani, and they also guarantee us through their history as well. Does anyone know what Sakhi that is, that story? Anyone? Guru Nanak Dev Ji and? Okay, Bhai Mardana Ji. And who's the third person? Who's the demon? Andy, call that up. Okay, hold on. There's a really common Sakhi, we should know this one. Actually, I'll do this one, because there's so many Sakhis in this talk, but I'll just do like a few ones that we should all know. This one, Guru Nanak Dev Ji and also Bhai Mardana is with them. Bhai Mardana is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's best mate, right? And also musician, and the best Sikh of all time, Guru Bhai Mardana. But in history, what was funny about them, or what used to always happen, that caused the story to happen? He'd get into trouble. Yeah, get into trouble. He's always hungry. Yeah, so, so Bhai Mardana is always hungry, right? And obviously this is just a play. Bhai Mardana has already left Guru Nanak Dev Ji like 3-4 times so far. He's like, Maharaj, I've had enough. I'm going home. I miss my family. I'm going home. I'm hungry. I'm going home. Right? It's happened 3 times so far, or a few times, and each time it's happened, something bad's happened. He's left Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He got caught by Sajjan Thug, who's a chor, right? He used to murder people travelling, take all the possessions. He got caught with Sajjan Thug. Maharaj had to rescue him. Second time in history it comes up, he got caught by a witch, someone who did black magic, right? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to rescue him. Now the third time this is happening, and Bhai Mardana said, Guruji, I've had enough, I'm hungry, I'm going home, and they leave. And now they get caught by this lovely person here, Galda Rakish. Galda is his name, Rakish means demon. He was a cannibal. Right? He literally would boil, cook humans and eat them alive, right? And he's put him into his cauldron, and he's obviously getting everything ready. You've got Galda Rakish, you've got Bhai Mardana. At this point, he's sitting in there, he's starting to feel the heat, and what's he doing? Guru Nanak lived there. He's saying, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, I'm messed up again. Come and save me. Older, you've got Galda Rakish, he's getting his mirch masala ready, pouring over, he's getting his vegan mayonnaise, getting all the percent ready. And Older Bhai Balaji, he says to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Maharaj, Bhai Mardana is calling for us. And Guruji says, Bhai Mardana is calling for us. What should we do? Bhai Balaji goes, he keeps doing this, but you know what? He's your Sikh. You need to go and save him. History says, Ardaas says, Guruji did teleport. In an instant, they reach where Galda Rakish is, and the fire is getting really, really warm. Extinguishes. And Maharaj saves, obviously Bhai Mardana, but he also saves Galda Rakish. Guruji onu pracharak bana deta. From a cannibal, we made him into a pracharak, someone who goes and does spread Sikhi in different towns. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji saved people like this, Galda Rakish, cannibals, thugs, prostitutes, went to everywhere and saved all the most evil beings, right? Why not? Of course Guruji will save us. But the Guru Sikh, why wouldn't we be saved? Of course we would. Guru Nanak Dev Ji that's their vadiyai, that's their praise, and that's their kirpa. So we remember Guru Nanak Dev Ji because they can protect us. Fair Angat Gaur. Now these are the words, if you don't obviously understand that, these are the words from the Ardaas and the kind of the Gurumukhi letters. So then we say Fair Angat Gaur, we're remembering Guru Angad Dev Ji. And like I said, this Saki is for everyone, but you guys can take the slides and do your research. Remember Guru Angad Dev Ji. And then Te Ardaas, we remember Guru Ardaas Ji. You know some people struggle with knowing the 10 Gurus' names? One of the ways is just remember the first body of the Ardaas. Because you hear it so many times. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Firangat Guru Te Ardaas, Ramdas Koi Sahai. And just like 3 or 4 lines, you've covered all the Gurus and you've kind of memorized it. It's a good tip. So Te Ardaas, we remember Guru Ardaas Ji because they gave us mukti. Ram Dasa, we remember Guru Ramdas Ji. Hoy Sahai, we ask for their Sahai. That's the second time the words come up. Sahai means their support. We're asking for Guru Ramdas Ji's support. Arjun, just one word, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, but we're remembering Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So at that point, just when again he says Arjun, we're remembering Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Okay? And you know what, we'll cover that one. Arjun, they remember us, they hear our Ardaas and they protect us even when we're at work. And again, there's so many Sakis. Some of you have heard it already. When Guruji saved Tarloka, he's a Guru Sikh at the times of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the 5th Guru. And he was a Peredar, he was a bodyguard for the Raja, the king at the time. And when you become a Sikh, you get certain teachings. When you take Amrit, they give you certain teachings. And stuff like, he got 4 teachings. When he went to Guru Arjan Dev Ji and took Amrit from Guru Arjan Dev Ji, he got 4 teachings. Naam Japana, Bhagan Shakana, Kirat Karne, the 3 usual ones. And then the 4th one was Ji Daya Karan. Anyone know what that means? Ji Daya Karan. Yeah, Daya, yeah. Compassion. upon all Gs, all animals, all creatures, everything, right? Humans. So G there coming. Now he's a predator. One day the Ardaas going out hunting. He's riding along, and it came to the point where he had to intervene and kill the deer. That seen what kind of terror he'd caused. The deer died. The deer was had babies or whatever, and that was also everything was killed out right in front of him, and he was really traumatic for him. He get down to he thought Guruji only gave me 4 teachings, and you know what? I've already broken one of them. He felt so bad. He got his kirpan. He took the he had obviously a bigger one, and he took the blade out and changed it for a wooden blade. He thought, next time something like that happens, at least I won't be killing the animal, and I won't break the teaching that the Guru gave me. Right? But people in India, people in Julia, slowly the word spread that Bhai doesn't even have a proper weapon, and he can't protect the king. Now at that point, that's like treason. Right? He was asking for life sentence at that point. When the king found out, he was so angry, he called upon all the Ardaas, all the bodyguards, he lined them all up. At this point, Bhai Ji's got no other option. He's remembering, saying, Maharaj Kirpa Kar Dil, bless us. They pull out each single Gurban. When they get to Bhai Ji, the miracle that happened in our Ardaas, in our history, is that when they pulled out the blade, it changed from the wooden to the most beautiful steel, the most sharpest and beautifully preserved sword of all the Ardaas. And instead of being, imprisoned or fined or taken out of his job, he was actually promoted. And all he did was a little Ardaas to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, so Guruji can protect us even when we are at work. Sometimes we don't think that. We don't think, I'm working, I'm going to ask Guruji for help. Probably the last thing we do. But if we have that faith inside us, Guruji actually, they can help us. Even at work they can help us if we have a Dino Ardaas Kareem. So it's really important to know that. Actually, this Sakhi Bhai Ji, my son, forget it, because they were arriving from Punjab to Glasgow airport, and obviously when you come on the flight you need to take your kirpan off, right, because of the metal detectors, whatever. And the Glasgow Sikhs, normally when you have your kirpan off, you don't eat or drink. So you don't pani tak, you don't even drink water, right? And he's obviously come from Punjab all the way to Glasgow. Now I'm ready, I'm at Glasgow airport, I've got my glass of water, my bottle of water, Sarah was there, everything ready for him, and I had a spare kirpan. I was like, here you go. He comes out, and I was like, here, have the water. And he was like, why? I've already had it. Had everything. I was like, what are you on about? Like, I know you wouldn't drink or eat without having your full kirpans. And he goes, Mirko Sab, I've got everything. I was like, what? I still don't believe him. And then he goes, do you think, Mirko do kirpan? He goes, I've got 2. He goes, never mind, 1 do kirpan na payam. And he showed me, he goes, one here, right? He just arrived from, Delhi to Glasgow, and he's got 1 kirpan here underneath that. And I was quite shocked. And then he's got the way he speaks, he says, you think a trikka hunda hai? And that there's a trikka, there's a method. And I was like, what? And he goes, Judo main janna utte security te main ardaas karta ki Guruji, just like, I'll say it in English, just like to see Bhai Ji the kirpan, he changed it from wood to metal, just for 2 seconds, just confused the security guard here. He made it Ardaas on me, because every time I go to the airport, it always works for me. But so that's his shraddha, and that's his faith and his dedication. It's up to you, you guys want to try. Go ahead, and you can tell me if it works or not as well. I'm not brave enough to try, but I know some of those Sikhs have been successful. So Guruji will help us even when we don't expect it, or things like that. So that's Bhai Ji. Har Gobind, we're remembering Guru Har Gobind Ji, we're remembering Simran, again that just means to remember. Simran means to remember. We remember Guru Har Krishan Ji, Singh Krishan, Tiyaiya means to remember again. And upon remembering Guru Har Krishan Ji, what happens? Just Ditte Sab Dukh Jai. Upon their Ditte means vision, upon their vision, Sare Dukh Jai, simple Punjabi. All our pains go away. Just like Maharaj cured smallpox in Delhi at the age of 7 or 8 years old. Now we say Tegh Bahadur Singh, we're remembering Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, our ninth Guru. And upon remembering Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, what happens? Kar now nid ave tai. Okay, so this is something we don't understand that bit. Kar now nid ave tai. What that means is in our kar, our home, the now nids ave, they arrive. Okay, so now nids, the 9 treasures are these here, right? So materialistic, so it could be like money, padamnidhi, all these different types of things, right? So in our treasures, and they're materialistic or spiritual. So it could be like having good clothes, good money, different things to eat, nice things to eat. Or spiritually, it's things like content, detachment, anand, permanent bliss, all these things. Okay, so you don't need to, memorize this or anything, but you should know that's what the non is referred to. There's certain things that you can get. And then at the end of this point, we say Sabatai Hoi Sahai. What does that mean? Sabatai, all places. Tai means places. Hoi Sahai, give us your support in all places. So Guruji, you're not just supporting us at Harmandir Sahib. You're not just supporting us at, Central Gurdwara. Guruji, you're Sabatai. You'll support us everywhere. The support is here in this room. And if you want to. So Sabatai, up to this point, it's Jasdeep Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani. Okay? But from now on, it's not Guru Gobind Singh Ji, this is the Khalsa Panth. Then we say, we remember Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So, Dasve Padshah, may you protect us at all places. Okay, sometimes. And then we say, Dasa Padshah Di Jyot, the power or the Shakti of the 10 Gurus, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And we ask for Guruji's part, their prayers, and Didar. Didar means darshan, their vision. We asked to see Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, because there was times in our history when you couldn't see Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you couldn't go to Gurdwara and do Matha Taking. They weren't even Swarups of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they weren't even Bani. In the 18th century, there wasn't so many, it wasn't accessible, and when you go to a place where you call a Gurdwara nowadays, there used to only be like shastras, like swords, on the throne. There wouldn't be anything, there might be a Gurkha Sahib or something, not Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So we ask for Guruji's part and darshan. And then, what do we say at that point? We say, Bolo Ji, Vaheguru. And that's not just for the Gyani to know that you guys are still awake, right? At this point, Bolo Ji, Vaheguru. The reason why we're saying that, everything that we've covered in this paragraph. This is one paragraph. We've covered the 10 Gurus, right? And we're out of respect of everyone that we've covered, we say, Vaheguru. Okay? And also, Ardaas is like a collective pot of, ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ we're putting ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ into that ਕਿਉਂਕਿ at the end of the ardas what happens sometimes people do ardas for certain illness to go away or certain I don't know something good to happen, right? We do ardas for that. Someone's getting married, we say for their future we're doing ardas. We're all saying Bolo Ji Vaheguru, all that Vaheguru Simran is getting collected, putting into that ardas and giving them that blessing. Whoever's receiving that blessing. Okay, so that's why we should all say Bolo Ji Vaheguru. When the Gyani says Bolo Ji, at that point everyone in the darbar, everyone in the hall should say Vaheguru. But again, we should be also trying to concentrate on everything that we've heard, and we're not just waking up for a second and saying Vaheguru and go back. So the Panj Pyare. So we know the Panj Pyare. We know they refer them to Guru Gobind Singh Ji's times, but actually Panj Pyare were from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's times even. It was always Panj Sikh. Really important Sikh in the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. It got a bit more formalized by Guru Arjan Dev Ji's times. Maharaj always had these 5 Guru Sikhs with them. By Vidijat, by Jitta, by Prana. And then Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, these are the 5 Guru Sikhs that went with him when they gave their head, when they gave the Shahidi. So, Panj Pyare, we're remembering all the different Panj Pyare. Even till now, those that go around doing the Amrit Sanchars, right? Only Panj Pyare. So we're remembering them as well. Jahan Sahibzade, we're remembering the Char Sahibzade, the 4 sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. 40 Mukte, we're remembering the 40 Mukte. So again, these are all different Sakhis. 40 Mukte refer to, it can be Chamkaur side, where 40 Guru Sikhs fought against the Hilraji Fauja, the armies of the Hilrajis and Mughals. 40 Guru Sikhs at that point, but also on Mughal side, we hear about Mai Pargoji, when we talk about Sikh women, we talk about Mai Pagoji. She was part of the groups. And that Saki, there was 40, they say there was 40 Sikhs that wrote the Badava. The Badava was, Guruji, we're not your Sikh anymore, you're not our Guru. Again, after many months of hunger, they say they had to write that. Other version of the Itihas is that it wasn't actually the Glasgow Sikhs who wrote it. It wasn't like Mai Bago or anyone like that. It was the leaders of that area, of the Madhya area of Punjab. And anyway, when they heard that they had compromised the Sikhi and wrote this letter, the Badava, Mai Bagoji and Bhai Mahasingh and 40 other Sikhs went and they fought and they all came shaheed. And when Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked them, what do you want? Bhai Mahasingh, they said, at that point, all I want you to do, Guruji, is to rip that letter, that Badava, that said that we're not. In the Jali Mukti. Mukti means like salvaged, saved ones. Then we call upon Hatiya. Hat means like those that they do different things to their body, like when they do yoga, they do certain things, penance, or they give their body pain in a way to gain happiness of Waheguru, which we don't believe in. We don't believe in Yog Hat, but we do believe in Dharam Hat. Dharam Hat is fighting your sleep, sitting in Samadhi, doing Jonkari Market Bena, doing your rods, fighting your hunger. We believe in that. So we remember all those that did that. We're remembering all those that did Tapa. Tapa means like, they used to do moans, they didn't speak for months, people used to do that, and mainly in the religion. Or Vats. Vats means they used to fast in the Islamic religion. Or even back then, the females, the wives would fast for their husbands and stuff like that. But Guruji said that's not Sikhi. That's not Parvan. It's not. Is Parvan for us, is accepted for us, is correct. So stay away from the bad deeds. And stay away from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, lust, ego, anger, etc. So refrain from them. That is what Tapa is for us. Japiya, people used to do different types of jobs. Guruji says for us the only job or thing that we should recite is Gurbani, Naam Simran, Sangat Roop Jap. Mara says, Jinane Naam Japaya. We're remembering everyone who did Naam Japna, who did devotional worship, Bhakti. That can be all these different Guru Sikhs, Santaji, Baba Thakur Singh Ji. Now, we remember them because they not only saved themselves, or they were saved, or they were one with Vaheguru, but they also saved many others around them. Even when you hear stories about like Baba Thakur Singh Ji and stuff, when they used to come to UK, wherever they went, they wouldn't really speak. And when they go to people, they just place that goes to a higher level and say, Bani Bado, Ved Guru Bani. They would do the Sukhan Sahib job, all these different Baniya. Now imagine spending a week with Sangat, spending a week with someone like that. The whole week, what have you done? All you've done is read Gurbani or listened to Bani. So what's happened? Not only have you been saved, but people around you, they're all saved as well. So that's why we remember those that do Naam Japna. Vanda Shakya. So we remember those who Vanda means obviously to share, and then Shakya, consume themselves, right? So now this is something that happened even in our history. Nowadays we've got no, there's no limit on food. It's just, we can eat what you want, we can share as you wish. But even back then, those Sikhs would, if they got a prasad, they used to give it, share with others before eating themselves. Jidan the Raja Friksha, he's a Mughal Raja, this is after Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time. One day he wanted to see this Vanda Shakya, this Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Vanda Ki Shakna, and he heard about it, he wanted to see it. And the story goes that there was 3 Sikhs that had been starved for 4 days. And there was, in terms of the age, one was quite young, one was middle-aged, and the other one was really old-aged. And the 3 Sikhs, they were put in a cage and starved for 4 days. On the 4th day, he came out, the Raja, Friksha Raja, and he threw in 1 roti, right? Chucked 1 prasad down. Now, what did he think was going to happen? He thought they were all going to just pounce on it and start fighting for the food. The child picked up the elder picked up the roti and gave it to the child. He said, okay, you're young, you need the energy, to see Shaku. And this is after 4 days of starvation, right? the young child, look how much, Sikhi he's got inside him. He's picked the prasad up and given it to the middle-aged one, saying, middle-aged, you're the one that's going to fight these Mughals. You have the prasad. The middle one picks up the prasad, gives it to the elder. The eldest one says, you're our elders, Bujuran, you eat the prasad. And then he passes it back to the young one, and it's going to Friksha Raja's going mad seeing, these 3 Glasgow Sikhs just passing the roti around like that. And kind of Vandake now. Deg Chalai. Deg Chalai means those that prepare deg. Deg is another word for prashad. All the Sevadas that prepare prashad or langar, even serve langar, we're remembering all of them in their Ardaas. Like this Sakhi, I don't know, Sakha Panja Sahib, is there Romania, Pakistan? So, Panja Sahib, it's actually only 100 years ago. Obviously, the original Sakhis were going there to stop the border, right? But 100 years ago, this Sakhi happened here. You can see the train. The British had taken some of the Sikh and taken them to a faraway jail. They passed the Gurudwara Sahib, Panja Sahib. The Sevadars, keeping Deg Chalai in mind, they wanted to serve langar. They said, apne Gursikh, they're here, they're present, they're probably hungry. I see, prasada shakana, we're going to feed them. And what they did was, they asked for the train to stop. The train had received, when they spoke to the, what do you call it, the guy outside, on the conductor, no, not the conductor, the one that manages the station, leaving the station, entering the station, right? Probably didn't have it these days. But they asked him, he goes, the train has been under strict instruction not to stop anywhere. And the driver's not going to stop. What do? They lay on the tracks. You can even see the pictures, the painting's actually very accurate in terms of our history. Our history says there's even a mother with her child, a mother with her baby, and they both lay on the track. And they said, if you're not going to stop this train so that we can give them food, we can do langar, then you're going to have to run them. Ardaas Singh were 2 Glasgow Sikhs right at the front. They were the leaders at the time. They were right at the front. The leaders weren't at the back, but as nowadays they are. Leaders were at the front. And Ardaas Singh, Karam Singh, they lay on the tracks. The train came and they were both shaheed. It was 100 years ago. Both of them were ran over by the train and they were killed instantly. But what happened? As soon as that happened, the train stopped. Now, when the driver was taken to the court when they testified, they asked the driver what happened, and he goes, "I did not press the brakes. I didn't press the brakes." He goes, "When I hit the people lying on the ground, it felt like the train had been stopped by a boulder." Now, what was the Sakhi of Guru Nanak Dev Ji? When you stopped the boulder there, didn't it? And that was the Gora's words in English. He said that. It felt like it hit a boulder. The karamat that happened there, but 2 Glasgow Sikhs were shaheed at that point. Why? Just to give langar. So in our Ardaas, when this comes up, Deg Chalai, we're remembering all those that sacrificed to give prasad, that give food to other Muslims. Deg Wahi, those that fought with their weapons. And Deg means sword. Now this is really important. Deg under the Gita. Okay, this means when you see someone mess up, Deg ke, but what do? Under the Gita. You've unseen it, under the Gita, right? So Deg ke, under the. Someone makes a mistake, what do? We're remembering the people that do this by the way. In their Ardaas, we're remembering the people that when they see someone else's mistakes, they brush it under the carpet. Because that's what Sikh is about. And this nowadays, in this climate that we have now with social media and all that, it's the total opposite. It's like they exposed online, on Instagram, everywhere, for everyone to see it. It's very, very different. But our Guru has that going. Like, think about it. If there was just a way, right, that everybody could see, like on a screen or something, all the bad actions that I've done today, right? But all of us, if we all had like a magical screen that, you can see all the sins that we've committed today, right? Would we be walking about with, going to a method with a swagger? We go to the Gurdwara, would we be having that kind of ego? We wouldn't. Because everyone can see it. But Vaheguru, the way they've done it is all our sins or everything that we do wrong, nobody else knows about it. It's between us and Vaheguru, us and our Guru. Because this is the quality of Vaheguru Ji. It's also a quality of the Panjapari system. When you do something wrong, you go to the Panjapari. You could go and say, you could be the best Sikh in the world and do the worst deed and go to the Panjapari. Next day, you're very just in the general Sunday and do Sifatiki. And they can't talk about it, they won't say anything about it because it's part of the rules that they can't talk about anything that's spoken about in the Amritsar. So that's a quality that the Panjapari have as well. And so it's really, really important that we do this. And there's another quick Sakhi Guru Nanak Dev Ji, where a family wanted to do prasad. This guy came and he goes, I'm a Sikh of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And what do? You get to bring them into your home. They made food for them. They gave them a place to stay. But during the night, he started to steal all the gold in the house. He said he was a Sikh of the Guru. He stole all the gold and he left in the early mornings. When he left in the early mornings, the guy, the husband, he went running after him saying, hey, we still need to feed you breakfast. Right? We still need to feed you breakfast. And he dropped all the gold. He's seen that he stole everything. And he goes, where are you going? You need to come in. We still need to serve you. We still need to do breakfast. But he went home. The guy was left at this point. The wife, she asked her husband, you met Sarah? And he goes, oh, busy. He's really busy. He had to go to. What did he do? He seen the mistake, he forgave it. Even though it was something as serious as that. The next day, when they went into the Sangat of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji stood up and gave a Jabi Bani, they gave him a hug of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Went to that Guru Sikh and he said, okay, you covered one of my Guru Sikh, one of my Sikhs, even though he wasn't even a Sikh, he was just, you covered the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, only Raj Rakhi, you kept the honor of that. I'm going to cover all your large local in this life and the afterlife. And so it's very, very, we get a lot of blessings, we get a lot of happiness from our Guru when we do this, when we forget others. Obviously there's a certain limit to this. If someone does something really bad, you can't just, turn a blind eye to it. Of course there's justice involved as well. But in the general sense, a Guru Sikh should always be like that, always forgiving. Everyone has errors inside them. Only the Guru, only Bhai have no errors. So we're remembering all those that have done this. They under Gita and the Ardaas. Then we say, these Pyarea, Tina Pyarea, Sacharia, the Kamai. So their Kamai just means, how can we translate Kamai? Earnings. So one of the earnings, or like how much good they've done, we're remembering that. When we say Bhai, we're remembering everyone that we've covered in that paragraph. Okay, so now we're on the kind of Shahidi part of it. And then we say, Jina Singha Singhniya Taram Hed Sees Diti. We're remembering all the Singhs and Singhniya that for their taram, for their religion, for their faith, they gave their cease, they gave their head. Now that's referring to people like Baba Deep Singh Ji. You know the Sakhi Baba Deep Singh Ji? How they fought, they gave their head. Or even during the times, this is in the 1700s, this guy is called Zakaria Khan, right? Zakaria Khan, and it got so bad that by 1740, you couldn't see a single Sikh in Punjab. Right? Imagine going to Punjab now and not seeing the part playing in the bend and the speakers, or not seeing a Nishan side, or not even seeing someone with the star, or whatever. Okay, that's what happened in 1740. Because dasan wale 10 rupees, maran wala 50. He'd issued this everywhere, he plastered this everywhere on all the walls. Okay, dasan wale 10 rupees. If you tell me the location of a Sikh, you get 10 rupees, which is a big amount of money at that point. Te maran wala 50. If you killed a Sikh, you were given 50 rupees, which is mad. That money was really, people got so greedy, they would kill their own daughters. They killed their own daughters, they'd mash up the face, and that's what they're doing here. They're giving the heads to Zakaria Khan. They're lining up and saying, here you go, we've got a Sikh's head. And obviously you can only tell because of the case. So even if it was a daughter, they got so bad, so greedy, that people would do that just to get 50 rupees. So, and at that point, this is our history. It says, Kei Chark, some were put on torture machines. Kei Fansi Mari, some were hanged. Kei Topan, they were shot. Kei Shuni Katari, they were stabbed. Kei Dobe, they were drowned. कई seats or sotte, they were dragged, dabbe, buried, tange, they were hanged from trees, bandukan they mar, or they were like a firing pit, they were shot together. Pant Bhai, they were put down like it's langar time, and Saat Tegan ke seas udai, their heads were taken off one by one. Kise hat, kise tongue katwai, someone's hands were taken off, someone's foot were taken off. Ak kad, some others had their eyes taken out. Kise khala katwai, some had their skin taken off. Kese no wale jo dar hoi, this is Zakaria's words. Those that have case, those beings that have hair, bar, or bird, be it they're young or be it they're old, love shadana koi. Love ke shadana koi. Don't even leave one alone. So this is the kind of terrible times that happened in the 1740s. Now we're remembering all those Sikhs that gave their lives at this point. Band katai, we're remembering all those that were band, limb katai, cut by every single ang, every single limb. Now obviously the first Saki that comes straight away to mind is by Mani Singh Ji. You've all probably seen this painting in the Gurdwara side. But it wasn't just by Mani Singh Ji, it was by Banda Singh Bahadur. He was killed in this way, he was chopped, ang by ang, limb by limb. Or by Bota Singh, Ranja Singh, they were also done that way. But what was so amazing about Bhai Mani Singh Ji was when the executioner was told, okay, you have to kill him, execute him in the way that's called Bandu Katai, every limb. The guy, the executioner, he was actually only going to do 4 bits. He was going to do here, here, and then this part here. And that was it. And when he started to do that, Bhai Mani Singh Ji, this is the painting, what it shows, at that point he goes, you don't even know what Bandu means. Because Bandu doesn't mean from here, it means from here. He goes from here, then from here, then from here, like here. Now imagine the shock on the executioner's face when you've got a saint like this Bhai Mani Singh saying you're doing your job wrong, and you took correctly, and he started Sukhmani said apart, right, off by heart. Started Sukhmani said apart, and it got to the point, Neha kichi janama, Neha kichi mara, in Sukhmani said, and nothing is born, nothing dies, talking about the soul. At that point his head was taken off. But still from the body, Sukhmani said to be heard, till the completion of the whole Sukhmani said part. And so that's Bhai Mani Singh Ji Saki. Then we remember Kopriya Luhaiya, those that had their scalps removed. Now, again, who's this? Bhai Taro Singh Ji, okay? Probably one of the main shaheeds that we talk about, Bhai Taro Singh Ji. Now, how old were they? How old are they looking? We always think about these people, we think they're really old. They were 24, 25 years old at that point. They were a saint, they used to do katha, they were very, very knowledgeable. And what happened? They couldn't actually cut his hair, instead they took his scalp off, totally off. But before he passed away, what did he say to Zakaria Khan? Zakaria Khan was this guy. If you go back, see this guy? The one who was collecting heads? Yeah? Before he killed Bhai Taro Singh Ji said, you're going to die before me. And 22 days, I think it was, Bhai Taro Singh Ji's scalp was removed. He's still alive, and Zakaria Khan, as soon as Bhai Taro Singh said that you're going to die before me, Zakaria Khan blocked up. Like he couldn't go for number 1, he couldn't go for number 2, don't know what disease that is nowadays, but he was blocked up. 22 days, imagine that, right? How much pain he's gone through. The history says, these are words from history. They say, "Kade po home, kade palang pave." Sometimes he lies on the floor to try to get some relief. Sometimes he lies on his palang in his bed. Kade tikka, kade ut pave. Kade he's very trying to control himself. Kade ut ke bhajda, he doesn't know what to do. He's in so much pain. Talking about the Zakaria Khan. Kade uddo, sometimes he lies on his front. Kade muddo, he lies on his back. Kade kuka, kade pareso roy. Kade he's shouting out in pain. Sometimes he's crying in a corner. That was the state of Zakaria Khan in his last days. Do you know how he died? How he got killed? Zakaria Khan? Anyone? Yeah. The only way he could get relief, they had to go to Bhai Taro Singh Ji, get Bhai Taro Singh Ji's shoe, and then hit Zakaria Khan on the head. And then when he used to hit on his head, he would release a bit, and he would get a bit of relief every time he got. So what would happen? He would say to the guys, "More model, that would get model." So Zakaria Khan's getting hit on his head, by Dara Singh Ji's shoe, and he's getting hit, and then that's how he dies. He gets killed with it behind shoe. They couldn't find his shoe first. They had to go to a shop and buy a new shoe, put it on Bhai Dara Singh Ji's feet, and then bring it and use that. So that was how that evil dude died. And the Bhai Dara Singh Ji, their Shahidi caused the end of that term, of the Shahid Dara Sama that we say. So, then we remember Charkriya to Jade, that's the word from Ardaas. Charkriya is this machine, this torture machine that we used to do. Now, this is by Subhaig Singh, Shahbaz Singh, but there's actually 200 of these made up, 200 machines like this in Lahore at the time. So we're remembering all those that were Shaheed and gave up their lives, but not the Sikhi. And then Arya Nacharayage, like by Matidas Ji, they were cut in half. So these are all the Shaheeds we remember. And then we remember those that Gurudwara di Seva lai, for the purpose of the Seva of the Gurudwara, what did they do? Qurbaniya Kirtiya. They did Qurbaniya. Qurbaniya means they sacrificed themselves. Right? So this can be from back in the time when it was like Baba Deep Singh Ji, or when it was Abdali, Ahmed Shah Abdali, he came and destroyed Harmandir Sahib a few times, but he tried. And or it could be in recent history, like Sanjana Singh Ji, when the Indira Gandhi and the Indian government tried to destroy Harmandir Sahib. So when you walk, many of us have been to Harmandir Sahib, right? When you walk on that Pakarma, there's probably not a single inch of that Pakarma that has not had a Shahidi on it. It's not had, someone martyred on that spot. Or the blood of these Shaheeds have not, missed a single spot, a single inch in that Pakarma. So that's why when we walk around that Pakarma, we're not just walking on a normal floor or anything. We're literally walking on our Shaheeds. So, when we walk around Pakarma. So that's why sometimes people get a bit annoyed when people are there and taking selfies and all that kind of stuff, and should have stuff around the Pakarma, because for us, literally people have given their lives for this Pakarma. Okay, so now we call upon those Dharam Nahi Haraya and Sikhi Kesa Swasa Na Nibahi. So even up to the last breath, they kept it here. Like the Sant Kartar Singh Ji, there's one example. During Indira Gandhi's times, they did many like Nagar Kirtans. When Indira Gandhi put in a curfew, she said the curfew no one's allowed to leave their houses. Sant Kartar Singh arranged Nagar Kirtans. So they did multiple Nagar Kirtans with thousands of Sikhs when there's a curfew. And anyway, Sant Kartar Singh, when they were in a car accident, the doctor said that they could save them, but they had to cut their hair. And they said no. So everyone has their own thoughts on that. Some people may would have or wouldn't have, but they didn't. So they were actually the Jathedar of the Dandavati Khan before Sant Janel Singh. So if you think about it that way, Sant Janel Singh's elder. So that's how they passed away. They'd rather not remove their hair than be saved. So we remember all these kind of Glasgow Sikhs, I'll skip that. Okay, in any way, we're calling upon their power, and now we're saying Boloji Waheguru. We're remembering all these people. Now we remember the Panj Takhats. Okay, so these are the 5 main Gurudwara Sahibs. Panj Takhats, we're remembering Sarvat Gurudwara, that means all the different Gurudwaras in every corner of the world. And then we're doing what? We're saying Boloji Waheguru. So again, just in one sentence, we're remembering every single Gurudwara that's ever created. Then we say, Prithame Sarvat Khalsa Ji ki Ardaas hai ji. Now we ask, this is the asking part of the Ardaas. We're saying Prithame, which means first of all, we're asking that Sarvat Khalsa, all the Khalsa Panth, we're asking for Sarvat Khalsa Ji ko Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Chit Aave. That they're constantly remembering Vaheguru. It's the first thing we ask for. Everyone's remembering Vaheguru, everyone's joined in Naam Simran. Kyonki Chit Aavan ka Sadka, that means upon listening to Vaheguru or reciting Vaheguru, what happens? Sarva Sukh ho gaye. We get all peace, all different types of peace. Even in Dukh, even when we're in pain, we will get peace if we're joined with Naam Simran. That's the importance of that. The Freksha Raja and Banda Singh Bahadur, he asked Banda Singh, I want to see a miracle. Banda Singh was known to be someone of miracle powers, right? And Baba Banda Singh Ji, at that point, he'd already been blinded. This is when he was captured. He'd been blinded. His 4-year-old son had been killed. and the 4-year-old son's heart was taken out and placed in his mouth of Banda Singh Bahadur, right? And while that's happening, he's still saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. He's just doing Namaskar, right? And then he says to Krishna, he goes, what other miracle would you want? He goes, look how much pain you've given me, and still I'm in high spirits. And so that's what we call, we're remembering those 6 like this in the Ardaas. Now, Jahan Jahan, wherever the Khalsa go, Taha Taha, Othe, we're asking for, there are 2 things, Rachya, Riayat. Rachya means protection, Riayat means respect. So we're asking for the Khalsa's respect wherever they go. Then we say we're asking for Deg, Teg, Fateh, very similar to what we covered before. Deg the Prashad, Teg the Langar, Deg the Prashad and Langar, and Teg of the Kirpan. Fateh means victory. We ask for the victory of Deg and Teg, right? Then we ask for this Bird ki Paj. Now Bird means like our uniform, or you can say like our the star, or whatever, our Kada. These are all parts of our uniform, right? So we're asking for our uniform, we're asking for its badge. Badge means honor, or it's kind of honor to be kept. And because like ideologically, a lot of people do silly things sometimes, and they're wearing like a banner, or they're wearing like a star, and then it goes on social media, and it goes, everyone gets exposed, and then he basically started going there of our com. But in this part of the Ardaas, we are saying that Birth ki Paj, Guruji, may you protect the honor of your uniform. Panth ki Jeet, we're asking for the victory of the whole Panth. And then we say Siri Sahib Ji Sahai, we ask for the support of the highest of all, Siri Sahib, the Kirpan. And then we say Khalsa Ji ki Bol Bale. Now we're remembering the Bol Bale of the Khalsa. Sorry, I know the last bits have been quite, not deep, but like quite dark, and we're talking about all the Shahidi and stuff like that. So I've tried to lighten it up a bit here, right? So we're talking about Khalsa Ji ki Bol Bale. It's quite funny this. What was that? What do we mean by that? Anyone? Khalsa Ji ki Bol Bale. Anyone?
So the way the Khalsa spoke.
Okay. Yeah, back in the day, but and now. So the way the Khalsa speak even now, right? Now this is not a tangent. I'm not going in a tangent. This is in the Ardaas. We're remembering the Khalsa's Bol Bali, the Bole, the words of the Khalsa, right? So here, there's different effects. They're promoted high spirits, basically, right? You can have the Singhs, they would have been starved for years, right? They've been in the jungles, they've not had any home apart from the saddle of their horse. They're literally sleeping on their boda, right? They probably had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. They're probably wearing the same clothes they wore for ages. And if you were just to close your eyes and hear what they would say to each other, you would think that these guys are Raja kings. You would have no idea that they've gone through so much, but these guys are kings, they're kings. And why? Because of their boldness, right? So here's some examples. So what we used to, so ek Singh, right? One Singh, what do we say? You may have heard this at campus after that. You know? Well, it says there, but like, we say Fauja. And we don't say ek Singh aa gaya. We say Fauja aa gaya, meaning like the whole armies have come, yeah? Jhan we say Sawa Lakh. Have you anyone heard that? Ek Singh is Sawa Lakh. Sawa Lakh means like 125,000 or 100,000. So that's a common word, probably the most common one. If someone says to you Sawa Lakh, you know what happens when you're doing Langar Seva? Anyone who does Langar Seva, you're giving a roti and prasada, and a Singh says to you Sawa Lakh, you don't give 100,000, you don't give them everything, you give them one prasada, it means one. It's just a word for one, okay? Sawa Lakh. So, actually another story about that, Ganesh Singh shared in his katha, there was a small castle, and there was about 400 or 500 Mughals that were controlling that castle. They Panj Singh aye, 5 Singhs came, uchi jikare chade, bole sumne wala sasrikal really loud, and they went, and 2 of them went, the better at the front, the Mughal bodyguard, he obviously, when he heard the jikari, he got really scared, right? He dropped his rifle. And 2 of the 5 Singhs went again. And the guy, the better, the bodyguard, he goes, I just heard that noise. How many of you have arrived? Singh aage, Pajra pe gaya, Singh aage. And the Singh replied, he goes, 2 lakh aage, 10 lakh aur aage. Right? Meaning, like, 200,000 have already arrived and 300,000 are on their way. Obviously, they're just using the Khalsa bonding. Oh, did Ardaas Sikh? Oh, he left his rifle where it was. Other party he went to the leader and he goes, oh, 2 lakh aage Singh. 3 lakh wale more on here. Let's go, let's leave, let's leave. All 500 of them go up in the left. The Panj Singh, all of us 5 Singhs, and they took over that castle just through their war of money, right? Or things like this. In Punjabi we say mar gaya, right? What horrible thing to say, mar gaya. What do we say? The Singhs? Chudai kar gaya. He's moved on. Right? Or we say hukum sat. Hukum sat. Hukum means what was written for you, sat ho gaya. It's become truth. What a beautiful way to say it, huh? Mar gaya compared to hukum sat. Or those 6 kache shole, like just raw, chickpeas. Single, can I say badam? Badam is that. The badam is like a luxury food, and it wasn't something you can get. Or just random patte putte katthe karke, little trees, whatever they can get. All can I say the shabd jalebiya, right? Dod used to call it samundar. Samundar is ocean, right? And like sometimes things will ask you that in London. You got anything to drink, and it's samundar liya. What amazing thing to say, bring me the ocean. Bring me the ocean. What they're saying is give me a glass of milk. That's what they're saying. And so I've had that a few times, they caught me off guard a few times. Samundar liya tha, what are you on about? I have to go ask you for, he's asking for the samundar. Jasdeep Singh, they mean milk. He'll give a glass of milk. So yeah, and it's stuff like that gave a bit of shakti, gave a bit of power to us. And yeah, and it also shared knowledge, like lone salt, we used to call it sarbaras, as in it gives flavour to all types of foods. Mirch, spice, we used to call it liraki. Liraki, liraki, tanka, nala, the one is going to, it's going to mess you up. That's my favourite one, sorta, right? You call it sorta? We call that akal dan. Akal means wisdom. Dan means giver. The giver of wisdom is our sorta. So stuff like that. And it also is about aesthetic sense as well. Like jutti, again, what a horrible word, right? Shoe. Glasgow Sikh, we call it Ardaas, the servant of your feet. Roti, we call it prasada. We don't say pag, we say the star. Karshi, right? Karshi, when they serve langar with the karshi, they call that dayar gaur. The dayar means compassionate. Because it's through the compassion of the karshi that you get fed. Yeah? Maybe a bit complicated if your name is actually the Angkor and you're in the Langar Hall. And look, it also promoted fearlessness. We don't call that ladka ladki. We also don't use munda kuri, right? You may hear that in Punjabi, munda kuri. We don't use that. It's actually got bad meaning behind it. I won't go into it now, but it's a bad meaning of them words. For a Sikh, we call our children Pujangi, right? That means deadly snake, powerful snake. Pujangi for a son, Pujangi for a daughter. Now, imagine your children hearing these words as they grow up. Oh, mera Pujangi, mera Pujangi, my son's come, he's a deadly snake, you're my deadly daughter. And how much power are the kids going to have? We have all these issues about bullying and stuff in schools. If my children are, grown up being called deadly snakes, you know what I mean? It gives a bit of power, doesn't it? So, and even our names, I've said this before in class and that, but even our names back then, Ranjit Singh, the defeater of war, or we heard about Samundar, the ocean, or Sher Singh, the lion, Bhai Singh, the deadly hawk eagle. Saturday now when they say we used to have names of really, really names, We're getting too early? Okay, I will say it. Okay, no, I'm not going to say it. You ruined it. But now we got a lot of Rinku Tinkus. And I'm sorry if there is any Rinku Tinkus. If there is, please forgive me. Take it under the cover. You can forgive me. So anyway, back to this car. You can have a house made of sand. And the Singhs would say, mera bunga. Bunga means fortress. Right? And stuff like jung battle, they call it. We're playing Holi. So anyway, all these different words. These all come up in our history as well. So yeah, these kind of things, we're remembering it here, we're saying Bolo Ji Bhai. Quick, just for 30 seconds, this is it here in English. I want you just to discuss between yourselves next to you. Just tell me how you translate that in English. Okay. So that's the Khalsa Bol Bali, right? Sahib, aap ji singhasan te sajo. Maybe a bit difficult if you're Punjabi is weak. Prashada shakal nu tayar ho jao. Right? So just discuss for 30 seconds. How would you translate that in normal English? We're nearly finished, guys. It's the last couple of slides. Any words that you're stuck with, just tell me.
Like English or like
Anyone can give me their translation? Anyone want to share their translation of it? Don't worry, we'll get it wrong. It's all good. Go on, okay. Or do you want another? Go on, translate it. I'll sing side. Let's do it. I'll sing side. What does that mean? Yeah, I'll sing. So sing, okay. But what is sahib? Sahib means master. Okay, so I'll sing my master, right? Aap ji singhasan te sajo. What's a singhasan? Yeah, singhasan is what Guru Granth Sahib Ji sits on. Gurudwara Sahib, singhasan. And then sukhasan is where Guruji's bed is, so we take him at the night. So sukhasan is singhasan is the throne. So this is the arm only to say come and eat. Say come and eat. And what they're saying is, come my respected master Singh Ji, be seated upon your highest yourself to consume the blessed food. Right? And now if you were to close your eyes and not see the person there, who would you think is speaking? Like royalty, you think kings, huh? Because that was the Shakti, that was the power in the Mughal Valley. Now like I said, this is not a tangent, we're remembering this in our Ardaas. Khalsa Ji ke Bol Bale, now we're saying, Bolo Ji, we're remembering all the Glasgow Sikhs, all the Bol Bale, we're remembering everything like that. So you can see how much is coming in there, Ardaas. Then we asked for 7 things. We asked for Sikhidan, Sikhano Sikhidan, give us Sikhi, give us case, give us Rat, Rat means code of conduct, give us Babek, Babek means the ability to be able to distinguish between right and wrong, give us Prosa, Prosa means faith, and then we say the gift of all gifts, Dana Sirdan, Nam Dan, give us your name, my Guruji. Okay, then we say, Sri Amritsar Sahib Ji the Darshan Ishnan. Guruji gave us the darshan, the vision, and the ishnan, bathing in the Sarovar. We ask for that. That's a really, really important thing. Especially nowadays, people are saying, "Oh, you don't need to bath in there." But every day in our Ardaas we're saying, Guruji, give us an opportunity to go and see Harmandir Sahib and also do the ishnan, bathe in there as well. Because Marasis Ramdas Sarovar Nate. Sab utre paap kamate, all our paap, all our sins, Maharaj says they are removed when you bathe in that sarovar of Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj. And again, those Sikhs over our history have literally given their lives so that the sarovar can remain. Abdali, he filled it with like cow dung, he tried to get rid of the sarovar, he tried to destroy it, he did all sorts, because they thought that's where they were right technically, that's where the Shakti, where the Guru Sikhs were getting their power from. He tried to destroy it many, many times. When he did Mughals, the Mughals put a big curfew around it, and they said, this is when the Singhs were in the jungles in the 18th century, and they said, if there is a single Sikh of the Guru still alive, horn karke aake shnan do, karke dikhao. Come and show us, you come and have a shnan now at your sarovar. And they challenged the Singhs in the jungles. And they put like hundreds of like soldiers all around. Now, that's a difficult one. Yeah, if the Singhs in the jungles hear this, No, there's one Guru Sikh, his name is Sukha Singh. By Sukha Singh, he goes, Singho, je tusi kirpa karo, Ardaas karo, I'll go and do this. मैं जाके स्नान करूँगा. I'll take on that challenge, and I'll go and have Ishnan, and I'll come back to you. And he touched the feet of Bhai Singhs, did their Ardaas, and then he left. Now, the Mughals thought that if anyone was going to accept the challenge, they would come during the night. That made sense, right? He went during the day. And he went to the main road towards Harmandir Sahib. The only thing he did change, he changed his form. So he wore like a different type of, pagri, we call it, that even they used to wear, the Mughals used to wear as well. So he looked like just a Mughal officer coming from one office to the other office. That's all it looked like. He came with his horse, and Guru Kirpa, he's already now into the Pakarma, right? He starts, the horse starts to drink the Amrit, the water, from the Sarovar. Slowly he starts to get into the Sarovar. Now he's had Ishnar as well. No one's bothered, no one's saying anything. And he's thinking this is way too easy. What does Sukha Singh do? He takes the star off and he starts to have a Kesi Ishnan, as in he starts to wash his hair as well in the Sarovar. And still it's too easy, because none of the Mughals have even seen, okay, I'm a Sikh. If I just get up and leave now, what's the point? They're not even going to know that I was a Sikh here, that did this. What did he do? He said, Bole Sonehal, he started doing that. And then obviously the Mughals, they woke up, half of them were still asleep, half of them were drunk. And they realised, say that again. They quickly, by the time they got on their horses, they got close to them, they already left, and they shot back out, and they kept the honour of this Khalsa band. So yeah, we're remembering the Amritsar Ishnan, but you know what? It's not just this Sarovar. There's actually 5 Sarovars in Amritsar side that you meant to do Ishnan whenever you go, right? So Kaursar, Bibeksar, Ramsar, Santoksar, and then this is Amritsar. And that's actually the order you meant to do it. It's quite a long story, but you can research into it. Another tip, see if his Gurdwara has Sar on it. Like here, Kaursar, Sar just stands for Sarovar. So you know that the Gurdwara will have a Sarovar there or nearby. If in the Gurdwara's name, it has Sar in it, Kaursar, Bibeksar, Ramsar, Santoksar, like that, right? So you go there, some people when they do the Ishnan, you're meant to do the center part, when you're in the Amrit, in the Pani. Or some people sing the Shabad, Ardaas, Nati, and some people have Ishnan and they get out onto the Pakarma, and there they do the center part. Different techniques and things that you should do when you go to her. We're remembering all that during the Ardaas. Right, last couple of slides. Jonki are like different times for the Kirtanis to sing certain compositions, certain rags and certain different times. The most common one is like, when those that have maybe seen Rera side when it happens, the Kirtanis would sing the Shabad, that Shabad is a jonki, that's Sodradi jonki. So there's actually different jonkies, they happen at different times during the day at Harmandir side and other Gurdwara sides. Jonkies can also mean like, when Sangat, or you can even extend it to when you do Nagar Kirtans and people get Tolki, Shani, and they start singing Jonki can they? When Guruji leaves from their Singhasan to the Sukhasan, we sing like Jitha, Jadevaha, something. So that's a certain type of jonki as well. So we're remembering all the different jonki at that point. There's also ones that happen at Harmandir side, Akal Takat side. They give one Nishan side to a person, not this one exactly, and then one city side, one Kirpan, and then they go around the whole Prakarma singing Kirtan, singing Shabads. So we're remembering that. We're remembering the flags, the Nishans. Now, the Nishans now have changed a lot, and unfortunately, the one that we have now, the symbol, the Khanda that we all love, yeah, we have our necklaces, we have on our cars, we have people tattoo it as well onto their bodies, isn't it? Ardaas got it as is that the Glasgow Sikh one? No? Okay, that's right. Okay, I was going to say Glasgow Sikh got it as well. That Khanda is actually British made. It's not actually from the Guru's times. Sorry to break people's hopes and desires. Yeah, Khanda is not from Guruji's times. That's British made. Actually, in the Nishan sides, you never had that. Even if you look at this is the old painting, 1900s of Akal Takat. You see there's 3 things there, 3 symbols. The 3 symbols are this, there's a Kirpan, a tar, a shield, a hand dagger. They were the three things that used to be on top of the Nishan Sahib. Even this is a Maharaja Ranjit Singh time, and you can see there that's actually in gold in Harimandir Sahib. It's actually drawn, painted in gold, or moulded in gold. And yeah, again you can see the Kirpan Dal and Kadar. So they were the three main symbols at that point. The colours changed. Guru Ardaas had these times, the Nishan Sahib was white, then it was blue. Some Sakis even spoke about a black Nishan Sahib once. And then it went to Kesari, which we see nowadays, this kind of colour, Kesari colour, but majority of the time it was this blue Nishan Sahib. And it shouldn't have a khanda at the top like that, because then the birds sit on it and do their business. So disrespect, it should have spears on the top to stop that. So these are things that are slowly starting to come back now. The traditions are starting to be, because our elders, they were just focused on building the gurdwaras, and it's our generation now to get the kind of practices right now. Sorry? It's just education, that's it. So now the first gurdwara in the UK, in London, what's it called? So the gurdwara? Shepherd's Bush Gurdwara, Shepherd's Bush. That's the first gurdwara ever in the UK. They've just gone back to blue now. So they've got a blue Nishan Sahib, there's a few in Coventry. So it's commonly associated with Nihan Singhs. They have that, they've always kept blue. But to be honest, we're not to fight over the colours. Like I said, the colours have changed over history. Gurujis had different ones as well. Even Swatiji, Sanjana, they say all the Sikh panths to gather under the Kesari Nishan Sahib. So does that mean they were wrong to say that? No, we still have respect for it. But it's things like that, like what should be on top of it, maybe the symbols, we can start to fix that up now. So again, Nishan Sahib is really important. You may see people in Matha take to the Nishan Sahib, they bow down in Nishan Sahib. They also do Bakarma, ambulance around it. And again, that's because, I keep going back to this, but in our history, there's so many times where people have literally become sheathed for the Nishan. In the Battle of Anandpur Sahib, Guru Singh's times, there was a Guru Sikh called Bhai Ardaas Singh Ji. He was the flag bearer. Now, war code of conduct is that you cannot attack the flag bearer, you can't kill him. And what happened was the Mughals surrounded him. He kind of left the rest of he got too much into the battlefield. The Mughals surrounded him and they said, "Give us your Nishan Sahib, give me your flag." And he goes, "I'd rather you kill me. You're not getting a flag, you're not getting Nishan Sahib, I'd rather you just kill me." And they said, "What if we chop your hands off, what are you going to do?" He goes, "I'll hold the Nishan Sahib with my feet. I'll keep the Nishan Sahib high in the sky with my feet." And they're like, "What if we cut your feet off?" He goes, "I'll hold it with my mouth and I'll keep the flag raised." And he goes, "What if we take your head off?" At that point he was like, "Well, my job's done at that point." Like, what else can I do? I'm giving my shaved, my head's going. So that's Sakya by Alam. So literally those Sikhs have become sheathed for their Nishan Sahibs. And nowadays people say stuff like, "Oh, you don't need to take to the Nishan." We give as much respect as we can, because these are the signs of the Guru. That's the last one now. So Bungay were little buildings around Harimandir Sahib, and they were really, really, important places where, even in times of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, you could say possibly the best education in the world was happening in this small area. You had poets, you had medicine, you had literally everything. You can go and train yourself up in anything, and it was all free. All these little small houses that taught certain skills, whether it's music, whether it's arts, history. Some of the biggest historians, they were a product of these Bungay. Jasdeep, Singh, who wrote Gurpratap, Surya Prakash Granth, the biggest historic Granth probably ever, biggest Granth of history, especially for us, for the Sikh column, was written by Jasdeep Singh. He wrote Bant Prakash, he was part of the Bungay. So also happened here, it was also a bit of a defence mechanism for Harimandir Sahib, that if you had to attack Harimandir Sahib, you had to go through the Bungay first. So we're remembering all the Bungay, they've partially been demolished now. But you can extend that to all the different schools now that we have across the world. So we're remembering all the education facilities. And then we're saying, Jugo Jug Atal, may they remain for all the Jugs. Jugs means like eras of time. And all that we're remembering, and we're saying Boloji, Bhai. And then that's the last part of that. With that bit, we ask for your own thing. So whatever you want to ask for, you can ask at this point. When it goes, Hey Nimane Diman, Nitane Ditan, Nyote the Ord, Vahiguruji, and then we say what you want. And you can say what you want because it doesn't have to be in Punjabi either. When you do Ardaas, it doesn't have to be in Punjabi. You see me in Punjabi said, Akhya Pao Apar, Guruji's, Vahiguruji's love of love. You know, so jo marji bolo, English bolo, Punjabi bolo, whatever you want. At this point, you can do your own personal Ardaas and ask whatever you want from the Guruji. So we ask for Sikhada Mananiva Mat Uchi. May their mind be humble, but their mat intellect be high. And you know, swear like some people made a quote out of this. Guruji has literally said it, but people wrote it in a different way, put it on an Instagram post, and then it goes viral. It's actually from here, from the Ardaas. So keep your mind low and your mat intellect high. And I've done Guru Amardas Ji, third Guru, the son of Guru Angad Dev Ji, wanted to become the Guru himself. And when he seen Guru Amardas Ji sitting on the throne, he went and he kicked Guru Amardas Ji. He kicked Guru Amardas Ji off the throne. Guru Amardas said, you know what they did? They're really old, they're like over 80 years old at this point. Guru Amardas said he went to Bhai Ji and he took his foot and he started to massage the foot. They said, my bones are brittle, you're young, you kicking me, I must have hurt you. Like in that humbleness that even the Guru showed. So that's what we're also asking for in the Ardaas. And then that's it. We say, Akarvada Kata, Pul Chuk Maaf Karni, so please forgive us for anything that we've done wrong. This is also like when you're reading Gurbani, Akhar, each letter of Gurbani, Kadi Kadi Vada ho janda, extra lajande, we sing word, you put an extra letter onto it, or Kata, you know, you meant to emphasize a certain word in Gurbani, you don't do it. Maharaj, Pul Chuk Maaf Karni. Forgive us for all the mistakes that we made while writing this Gurbani, or reading this Gurbani. Saryan de Karaj, Ras Karni, Sarvat de Karaj, Sarya de Karaj, all the affairs of everyone, may they be solved, and say Pyare Male, may we come and meet Male, these Pyare, these beloved ones, Jina Milaya, upon meeting these people, Tera Naam Chit Aave. They remind me to jap your Naam. They remind me to be a good, remind me to become a beloved of the Guru. And may we always meet these people. We were saying that last time. And then we say, Nanak Naam Charjikala, Tere Pane Sarvat Da Pala. We ask for the Pala, the good for the whole creation, the whole world. What other dharma, what other religion asks that every single day now? For the whole world, not just for the Sikh. They could have easily wrote, Tere Pane Sikha Da Pala. You could have wrote easily for the whole Pala of the Sikh God. Ki likhiya? Sarya Sarvat Da Pala. Think about how many Ardaases happen in every Gurdwara. How many Gurdwara are there in the world? How many Sikhs are there that do Ardaas every day? They're all asking for that. So I've gone through Ardaas really quickly. Apologise for the mistakes and rushing through it. I'll give you the slides as well so you can research it if you want in your own time. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm always around the world. Very much. Thank you.